on the NewsChannel 5 network. This is Open Line.
Hey everyone, welcome to Open Line right here on NewsChannel 5 Plus. You are watching Ask the Attorney live tonight here in our 5 Plus studio. And guys, he's my favorite guest. I shouldn't have favorites, but I do. Kevin Kennedy joining us. We always have the best time with Kevin of the Kennedy Law Firm, yes. Clarksville.
So good to see you tonight, Casey. You're always upbeat. She's got so much talent, and I'm glad to do the show with her tonight.
Well, you're too kind. You're too kind, Kevin Kennedy. It's been a minute.
It has, and I don't know what's the problem, because you had social events the last time she was supposed to do this show, so I have forgiven her, but I'm delighted to see her this evening.
We're back on good terms tonight, I
promise. We're
back
on great terms.
It will never happen again where I missed a chance to co-host with you, and we're back. I said never again, guys.
Never again.
Well, let's hear a little bit about what you have been up to. Obviously, you know, the Kennedy Law Firm, you never sleep.
Well, the truth is, when I look back over my career, I'm the busiest that I have ever been. And so I have people all the time say, Kevin, why don't you just slow down? Why don't you let others take this? But you know, there's something inside me that I have some knowledge that I want to help all these people, and I want to share with them. And if I could teach them something, then I want to. You know, at the office, people are in crisis mode, and it gets close to 5 o'clock or later in the evening. I'll always say, be there early. And they said, why do I have to get there? Because usually I'm in court by 9 o'clock, so if you're going to see me in just a few minutes, it could really make a difference in your life or a family member's life. I always say speed and secrecy are your two best friends.
I like that. You know, let's hear a little bit about Open Line. Maybe folks are just joining us for the first time. We're so happy to have you. This show is about you. You can call that number there on your screen anytime tonight and talk to this guy right here next to me. Again, Kevin Kennedy, the Kennedy Law Firm from Clarksville, Tennessee. And you drive down to Nashville to see us every so often.
Yeah, it's true. You know, I'm over 35 years on the front line, and they say, Kevin, what do you think you've learned over these years? You show me a family that sticks together, that's a hard bunch to beat. And I really believe that, because when everybody on the other says, well, we're going to sue them, we're going to take their home, and then you got your mom and your dad and your children, they will draw the line. You will not take that. And quite frankly, that comes across, and your lawyer feels that momentum. And when you have the right chemistry with your lawyer, you can take on almost anything. I see time and time and time again, and victory is within your grasp. But then when you get down to this problem, I can't trust my lawyer, I can't trust my witness, I can't trust my company. Well, then you're all the time, and you're off kilter. You can never think creatively with an agitated mind. And so much of the law is what would a reasonable person do under those circumstances. And a little advice always goes a long way.
And that's what tonight is all about. You're getting free advice from a legal expert. And, you know, really, it's just a great thing you do here on Open Line. In fact, we've already got calls coming in. That's how this show works. We get so many calls when you're here, Kevin. It's great.
We really love it. I love to share. And Casey, she's super. The truth is, behind the camera, she's always beautiful on the camera, but she is really a caring person. That's why we love to do the show.
Well, thank you for saying that, Kevin. I know you want to get to helping some folks here, so let's go ahead and take our first call here. Hi there, you're on Open Line. What's your question tonight for Kevin Kennedy?
Well, hey, how y'all doing?
Great. Thank you for calling in. What can we do for you?
Yes, sir. Well, I had a question about the governor's concealed carry bill, and do you think that will pass, and how long will that take to pass?
Well, it's a good question. You know, Second Amendment, I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment. You know, we have basic constitutional rights. I want no one taking any of our constitutional rights away from us. And so, you know, there's good arguments. You know, we can all say that we don't want gun violence and that we don't want to have situations where someone has a gun that doesn't need that. So, you know, I think right now the governor in Tennessee, they tell me that Tennessee is the second highest gun ownership state in the nation. So what does that really mean? You know, I have a master's degree in history, spent my life studying historical perspectives. Well, Tennessee would probably be one of the last states they want to invade because there's so many people prepared to defend the state of Tennessee. You know, when people feel like it's important to advance laws, they talk to the legislators, they write the bill, it'll go through the House, go through the Senate, and then it's placed on the governor's desk for his signature. So round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. There can be amendments added to it. It can be tabled, and then they have to revisit it. I don't think anybody really knows how fast that could go through. But thanks so much for the question. And y'all remember, keep the courthouse doors always open. It is to your benefit. And always keep your constitutional rights. That is to your benefit.
All right, let's get to our next caller. Hi there, you are on Open Line. What's your question tonight?
Yes, I have a friend of mine who is a member of the LGBT community.
Yes.
And where he works, the owner of the place plus the employees, it's not a whole lot of employees, it's privately owned company, but the owner and the other people sit around and they pick on this boy. I talk to him very often, and he's got him on tape saying homophobic phrases to him, calling him different things and stuff like this. Won't even give him, it gives everybody else a vacation, but not him, because he says that homosexuals don't need vacations, things of this nature. What could he do about this?
Well, the first thing that, we have all kinds of federal laws that are in support of people who are being discriminated against. The first thing that person should do is go to the Tennessee Department of Labor, and they can file a complaint. And that's why we have governmental agencies. They understand the law. They have people that are being paid by the taxpayers and advance their cause. And there's a host of laws, both state laws and federal laws, that would be there to protect those individuals. Thank you for your call tonight.
Yeah, some great calls coming in already here in the first part of our show. Again, if you are just now joining us, you are watching Ask the Attorney right here on News Channel 5 Plus Open Line, and the lines are open. Let's get to our next caller. I believe we have Sandra on line 3. Hi, Sandra. What's your question?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead with your question, Sandra.
Okay, well, what it is I was wanting to know, it's like if you're a felon and you get caught having guns in your car, but they're not your guns, but you were driving a car for someone, and they pull you over and they arrest you, and you go to jail. But, you know, they're saying now that had to have a warrant or something, but they didn't do the warrant, and they illegally, you know, supposedly checked the car without that, and the car wasn't his. But anyways, he got arrested, and now they're saying something about motion to suppress, and I don't know what that means.
Let me dance with you on that. In Tennessee, and the general part of the law is mens rea. Did we have the intent, the mental intent, to go armed inside that car? Now, if he didn't know it, it was not his car, there's an argument that could be made under that circumstance. You've asked me about a motion to suppress. If it is
that's what they're saying.
Okay, and remember this, lawyers all the time advance for their clients, and they file motions to suppress, and sometimes they are victorious, sometimes they're not. And a lot of lawyers say, I don't know why you'll file that motion, you can't win it. Well, never say never in the law. And quite frankly, if it happened to Casey, I would file the motion to suppress. And then we try to argue to the court that they have illegally searched, and that goes back to the Fourth Amendment. You heard me say earlier, don't ever give up your rights, because we have a constitutional right against illegal search and seizure. It goes back to the 1780s, where the British would come in, we're going to search your home and you have contraband. So same theory goes all the way back till today. And so they say, can I search your car? You're giving them permission if you say that. And you've heard that old saying, loose lips sink ships. So you can say, no, do you have a warrant? And so there's a lot of things.
That's what happened. They went back and found out he was a felon. and they had, I don't know why they done it, he said, but they come back to him and said, we're taking you in because these guns, which the guns were my husband's.
Okay, you don't have to say everything on the air.
Yeah,
you should probably talk with it privately. But just like what I said, Casey and I can ride in the car with someone here tonight. There's a bunch of stolen guns in there. You didn't know it, did you, Casey? First thing Casey's going to say, I didn't know it. What about you? So we live and learn.
All right, Sandra, thank you so much for your call. All right, let's see. I believe we have one here on line 1. Hi there, you're on Open Line. What's your question tonight? Hello there.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes.
You're on Open Line. What's your question tonight?
I was curious about last fall. I injured myself. I fell down, broke my collarbone, and I was at my work. They put me on FMLA.
Okay.
And that run out. I applied for an extension. They denied it. My doctor, which was a surgeon out of a Vanderbilt, and he wouldn't do surgery because of location.
Yes.
He wanted to hire, or he wanted to just wait and heal naturally, so we did. But it took so long, I got fired.
Yes.
I've been there 16 years. I got fired, and then I didn't have nothing. They give me no severance pay. They give me no insurance. Didn't have nothing after 16 years.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Now, the things that have happened to this gentleman, why it's important for y'all to call in, it happens to lots and lots of people. When you have a particular situation like this, go talk to a lawyer. Talk to him privately, because everyone's facts are a little different. That's why lawyers who are really creative, the law is the law, but the facts are the facts, and the facts can be interpreted. So one of the things I think we can take away from your story, and I'm so sorry to hear that, is that everyone ought to consider, I don't sell insurance, but you ought to consider having a little disability policy. No one requires or makes you, but what happened to him can happen to any of us. I would talk to a lawyer privately, see if the company violated the Family Leave Act. If they did, they could take on some civil liability. Most of the companies have a whole department of human resources and lawyers on staff so that they can follow every law, rule, regulation, and then when the time is up, they'll move. There could be some gray areas that you should talk to your lawyer privately, and don't let it get to that point without having a plan.
All right. Thanks again for those calls rolling in tonight. Let's go ahead and get to, I believe we have James here with us on Open Line. Hi, James. What's your question tonight?
Yeah. I was wondering if there's a safe number to call to report Medicare fraud, and it involves one of the major hospitals here in town, and the people that we all know about, they just don't know who to call, and they're scared to call.
Yes. Well, one of the things you can always do, too, is Tennessee Medical Association. You can always call, and you can report there. You can go online to anyone who deals with Medicare, and there will be a fraud hotline. And what some people may not know, there could be some similar circumstances, like when you turn someone into the IRS where they've been cheating, and the IRS is able to catch them and collect a large amount of money. There is also many people get paid a percentage on what has been collected by the government. Isn't that interesting? So why is that? It's because it's against public policy for people to defraud the government, in taxes, Medicare, or whatever. So it's a very sensitive area, and those that are in the industry, I always encourage people, if you know about it, I would tell it, let's try to stop it. It makes everybody's premiums go up, and it's not good for our whole system. Thank you for those calls.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, joining us here on Open Line. You've invited Kevin Kennedy into your home this evening. Excited to hear some great free legal advice. Where else can you get this?
Well, you know, the truth is, I don't really know. You know, a lot of lawyers take people, and it's a free initial consultation. But on this, you can ask your questions, and we'll give it our best shot to try to give you a little direction. And, you know, I love it when people call me the next day. They all say, well, I heard you on Open Line last night. I'd like to ask you. That's fine. And when people stop me at the mall, some people really get here, but I never do, so I always encourage it. And even when Casey and I have been out, they recognize Herbie. We both love it, and we're glad that we can help.
That's right. That's right. Well, again, we're going to take a quick break, but keep it right here on Open Line. That number is there on your screen. If you have a question that you'd like to talk to us about tonight, Kevin's got your answers. Just keep it right here.